Start with the prayers. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We continue our study of the summary of Upanishads. We are taking up the Upanishads which we have already covered and which we are going to cover. So first I dealt with the Upanishads which we have already covered, like Kaivalya Upanishad, Keno Upanishad, Katho Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad. We have finished 5 Upanishads. The balance Upanishads, Prashna Upanishad, we have completed last week, the new Upanishad, which we will be taking up very soon. Now, today we are going to start with Aitareya Upanishad. Aitareya Upanishad is very famous for the Mahavakya Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness in this body is the consciousness in the entire universe. Prajna means Chaitanyam. Brahma. Brahma means the substratum for the entire universe. So indirectly, what it says is, there is something in my body mind complex, which is called as Chaitanyam, awareness principle. This awareness principle is the substratum for this body, without which this body-mind complex cannot undergo any vyavahara, any transaction. Without which the body is declared as dead body. There is a reflection of that consciousness in this body, which is called as the Jivatma. The Jivatma is the indweller in this body. And this indweller experiences the world through the mind and sense organs. And then it takes another body. Once this body leaves, then the same Jivatma takes another body. But we are not talking of the transient Jiva. We are talking of the permanent, eternal Jiva. The eternal Jiva is not a reflection. It is the original Paramatma, which is called as Brahman. Then it is without the body and without the mind or without the universe. A simple sample is given in the Upanishads where it says, suppose you want to know what is this nature of this consciousness, awareness. Can I experience? Can I have a sample? You tell me now, okay, all this Upanishads they declare about Brahman, about something which is higher principle and all that. Paramarthika Tattva. Can you give me a sample? Can we experience that? In Vedantic Upanishad, it says, yes, all of us, we are that Swarupa. We are that nature when we are in the sleep state. Only thing is, I don't know that is my real nature. So what is my real nature? My real nature is without the body, mind, and without the world. And that is called as Paramarthika Satya. I'm giving you a little bit of background to the Upanishads so that when you enter the Upanishads, then you understand what we are studying. All Vedantic students must understand there is something called as higher nature and lower nature. It's the same. The lower nature appears in the higher nature, it rests in the higher nature, it resolves in the higher nature. So the entire waking state, dream state, sleep state, all the three states are the lower nature. It is incidental. But Upanishad says that we all have a higher nature. That higher nature is called as Chaitanyam, Prajnanam. If I come to know that that is my eternal nature, I will be immortal. The purpose of the study of Upanishad is to raise our understanding from mortal body mind complex to the immortal Atma. All spiritual students spend a lot of time behind Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This is the process of spiritual study. But what do we get at the end of it? At the end of this study, we get something called as immortality. Amritatva praptihi. That means what? I come to realize I have some other nature which I don't know today. And Upanishad is going to reveal that to me. As I study the Upanishad, then my mind will travel in the direction of the Upanishad, and suddenly the Upanishads will say, Tattvamasi, this is what you are. And my mind should be ready. The preparation of the mind takes a long time. So, with this short introduction on Upanishads, let me enter the Aitareya Upanishad. Aitareya Upanishad is the only Upanishad which Shankaracharya has written from Rig Veda. It is a Brahmana portion, and the Guru is Prithvi Devata. Like in Kato Upanishad, it is Yama Dharmaraja, Yama Devata. Yama is said to be a son of Surya Bhagavan. Surya Devata's son is called as Yama Dharmaraja. Here, Prithvi Devata. See, in the Upanishads, there are different styles of presenting the truth. In some Upanishad, you have a physical teacher, guru, like Pippalada, and so many other Upanishads. We have different gurus' names are mentioned. Here, the name is a Devata, and the student is Aitareya Rishihi. There are three chapters in Aitareya Upanishad. Shankaracharya has written a brilliant commentary on this Upanishad. And the three chapters, chapter 1 has got 23 verses, chapter 2 has got 6 verses, and chapter 3 has got 4 verses. The Mahavakya appears in the third chapter. What is the definition of Mahavakya? Mahavakya is a statement in the Upanishad which gives the connection between the Jivatma and Paramatma. And what is the connection? There is a common substratum between the two. This is how understanding this common connection, a jiva becomes free from jivatvam, the jivahood, the individuality. When I study the Upanishad, I drop myself as a father, as a mother, as a sister, as a son. I don't think about those things at all. My direction is towards my real nature. In the first chapter of 23 verses, the Upanishad focuses on Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa means superimposition, and Upanishads generally start from where a student is. There are three sections in this first chapter. The first section deals with Loka Srishti and Devata Srishti. Whenever you talk about Adhyaropa, means world experienced by me is superimposed on this consciousness, Chaitanyam, which is a higher nature. It is only a superimposition. It is called as Adhyasa. So Upanishad says that lokas were created, devatas were created at the beginning of Srishti. Very beautiful section. It talks about how, see, the different Upanishads have got different styles of presenting the creation. Very Upanishad says, from Atma came Akasha. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi. The Panchabhutas came from Atma. Here it says Lokaha. That means the field of experience was first. And then the controllers of the field of experience, which are the Devatas. Then in the second section, it deals with Manushya Shrishti. Who are the Bhoktas? Who are the enjoyers of this Srishti? Who are the Kartas of this Srishti? Who are the people who are experiencing? That is Manushya Srishti. But to keep the Manushas alive, you need Annam, Anna Srishti. That means the body, if it has to remain alive, it can remain alive only with the help of food. Suppose there is no food and water, the body will wither away, as shown in example in Chandogya Upanishad. The Guru explains to a student in Chandogya and he says, come on, don't eat any food, drink only water for 14 days. And then the student forgets everything which he has learnt in the classes. Only his body is kept alive with water. So what it means is Anna Srishti is extremely important for the world, for the body to survive. All, whether it is human beings or birds or animals, all of them they survive on Annam. Second chapter deals with the journey of a jiva. How a jiva enters the seed in a father, which is called as the bija. Then it goes into the garbha, the fetus of the mother. Then the body develops for the jiva. Jiva is already there. All the jivas in the world are already there in potential form, invisible form. Like we also exist in an invisible form during the sleep state. I have two types of nature. One is when I can see my body in the waking state. The second nature is when I don't see the body, but I'm still there. Like in dream state, I'm still there, but it is not with this body. And then going further down, I am in the causal state, which is called as the sleep state, which is an invisible state. Here the Upanishad says Jiva is always there in an invisible form, which is called as Karana Shariram. And that Karana Sharira Jiva enters the body of a mother and the father, and body develops. The growth is of the body in the mother's fetus, the fetus in the mother's womb. So, by giving all this, what is the aim of the Upanishad? Aim of the Upanishad is this: why do you want to have this repeated births and deaths again and again and again? Why do you want to have this cycle of samsara? This Upanishad is getting the student ready for the third chapter, where the student is going to come and realize that this body is not his swarupa. It is not his intrinsic nature. The student develops vairagyam towards this cycle of birth and death, which is called as samsara. And then in the third chapter, very beautifully, the Upanishad introduces the concept of awareness principle, consciousness principle. It clearly separates the mind from consciousness. Mind is born out of consciousness. Mind is not consciousness. Mind is not me, neither does it belong to me. Very important sentence in the Upanishads. The mind is not me, it is not mine. So, who does the mind belong to? The mind belongs to Ishwara, the creator of this universe. So, as student of Upanishad, I have to hand over this body and mind to Ishvara and then claim my Swarupam as pure consciousness. Prajnanam Brahma. If you remove the body, the Panchabhutas from this body, what remains is Prajnanam. Like in Kathopanishad, Nachiketa asked Yamadharmaraja, if the body dies, what remains? Prajnanam remains. Suppose you know that this Prajnanam is there, then what happens? You are immortal. Mind has to settle down on this consciousness while living. How to do that? That is the job of the Upanishads. Go through the Upanishads. It is a step-by-step study of how to claim this prajnanam as my real soul. Prajnanam in this body is the prajnanam in the entire universe. That is the study. That is the Mahavakya. That means you have to do a process called as Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana. This is a technical term which I am using. Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana means you keep some features of the body mind complex and you remove some features. That means the gross body, the gross mind, the subtle mind, you remove it from your I, aham. Same thing you do with the world of experience also. The world which you experience, you remove the gross world. What remains when you remove the gross world? That there is a substratum adhishtanam for the world also, which is the Sat principle. The Sat principle, which is existence principle in the world, including your body. Body is also existent. So Sat is existence principle. You retain that. Chit, the Sakshi of your mind, consciousness, which is awareness, which is aware of all your emotions. There is something. All of us cannot deny this. Only thing is, I don't know that that is my real nature and this body mind is not my real nature. So, if I'm able to hold on by Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana, Tyaga means negation of the the external negatable portion and holding on to that intrinsic portion which you can never negate. I exist, I am conscious, you can never negate, and that is what we are in our sleep state. In our sleep state, I am existing, I am conscious, conscious not of the world. I am conscious. It is self evident consciousness. So, full details you will get when you study the Aitareya Upanishad. We will be doing it after Prashna Upanishad. I plan to take the Aitareya Upanishad. Okay, that was the seventh Upanishad. Five we have already covered. Then we are talking about Prashno and Aitareya. Now the eighth Upanishad is called as Ishavasya. Generally speaking, our teachers, gurus say that this Upanishad should be taken last. It should be taken after you're finished, say, six, seven Upanishad, take it later. Because this is a very confusing Upanishad, because it's got a lot of terms which are with meanings which are very difficult to understand. Let's understand what this Upanishad is. It has got 18 mantras. I will not go into the full details of this Upanishad because if I get involved, then it will get into a full explanation. And just give you a bird's eye view of 18 mantras. This Upanishad comes in Shukla Yajurveda. The previous Upanishad is Rig Veda. This one is Shukla Yajurveda. It is Yajurveda. Most of the Upanishads which we study, they all generally come from Yajurveda. Either Shukla Yajurveda or Shukla Yajurveda or the other Yajurveda. Now, 18 mantras are there in this Upanishad. Jnana Yoga Sara, Karma Yoga Sara, these are the two topics in the first two verses. First verse is Jnana Yoga. What is initially itself, the Upanishad says this entire Upanishad, this entire world which we are experiencing is Brahman. See, this is the style of the Upanishad. In many of the Upanishads, you will find that they will declare the highest reality in the beginning itself. And the whole Upanishad is based on this first verse. The second verse is Karma Yoga. See, it follows, okay, this is what we want to achieve. How do I achieve this? Through Karma Yoga. Then the third verse is one who does not follow Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, he is criticized. That means if you don't come to the spiritual path, you must you are not in the right way of living. So do Karma Yoga, purify your mind, come to Jnana Yoga, and then understand the Atma principle in you. Jnana Yoga portion is elaborated in verse number 4 to 8. And from 9 to 14, Karma Yoga here includes Upasana Yoga also. So through Upasana, through Karma Yoga, which is called as Pravritti Marga, you get involved in the activities in the world, purify your mind. And then the Upanishad here talks about another type of mukti called as Krama Mukti. Generally, the Upanishad will talk about Sadhyo Mukti. Sadhyo Mukti means freedom here and now. I am free. What is the meaning of I am free? I am not identified with the body mind as my real Swarupa. It is there. It is a Mithya Swarupa. Mithya means it is available for appearance, but it is not my real nature. So the Upasaka, here the Upasaka is the Upasaka of Surya Bhagavan. He prays to the Lord Surya and he says, remove the darkness which is surrounding you and show me the light of brilliance which is your real nature. So through the study of this Upanishad, the student, here the name of the student is not mentioned, the name of the guru is not mentioned. It is a general study of Upanishad where Ishavasyam Idagam Sarvam, the entire Isha, the entire world is nothing but that Brahman, that pure consciousness which we saw in the previous Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad. Same, the topic, the object of study in all Upanishads is Brahman. There is one entity which is called as the Paramarthika Satyam, which is beyond the sense organs perceptions. So that is Shukla Yajurveda. We will study the Krishna Yajurveda a little later. So this belongs to Shukla Yajurveda, Ishavasya Upanishad. 18 mantras. Here, there are a few words which are used, which have got uh, double meanings. But when we study this, we'll go through that. Another very important Upanishad is Svetasvatara Upanishad, and this Upanishad is Krishna Yajurveda. So the previous Upanishad was Shukla Yajurveda. This Yajurveda has got two schools. One is called as Krishna, another is called as Shukla. And both these schools have got Upanishads under them. 113 verses, 113 verses, divided into 6 chapters. Here there are a group of rishis who are students, and the sage, the teacher is Svetasvatara Rishi. Svetasvatara means a sage who has purified his sense organs. What is the meaning of purification of sense organs? You and I also can do it, but it's very difficult exercise. Our sense organs have got likes and dislikes. Sweta means pure, white. Ashwa means horses, senses. Sense organs are the horses which drive us into the world. Like we saw in Kathopanishad, a chariot example. Similar example is here of the Svetasvatara Rishi. Basically, the Rishi was a very pure Rishi and he taught another group of Rishis this Upanishad. 6 chapters, the number of verses in each chapter I've put here. The first chapter is the main theme of the Upanishad. What does it say? The aim of Svetasvatara Upanishad is to realize there is oneness in the world. The nature of God is what? Oneness. Like in the 10th and 11th chapter, you are supposed to see the entire universe with the help of Lord Krishna as a symbol. Here, whenever we study Upanishads, it is not Lord Krishna as a form, it is formless Krishna. But it is Ekam, Advaitam. Second chapter deals with meditations which are required as a means to realize this oneness. See, our mind, if you don't study the Upanishads, if you don't meditate, what happens is our mind is always running into the world of plurality. That running away of the mind into the world of plurality is an obstacle to realize the oneness of consciousness, the oneness of prajnanam. So that is 17 verses in the second chapter. The third chapter deals with the nature of God. What are the powers of this God? What is the Maya Shakti of this God? How can it project this entire universe? Exactly like how I project a dream world out of my own mind and Nidra Shakti. All of us have got a power, invisible power. That Nidra Shakti is a small miniature version of the Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti can project, which is the Vikshepa Shakti and also Avarana Shakti. So Maya has got two Shaktis, two sub powers covering the real nature of Bhagavan or of the self and projecting a universe. That is what is Ishwara. Like what? I have the same power. What happens to me in dream state? I cover myself as a waker. Avarana Shakti covers the waker hood. Vikshepa Shakti projects the dream world of tigers and connections and so many things you see in the dream world. The moment you wake up, the dream world is gone. The Shakti which was operating in the dream is withdrawn. All of us have this power. Bhagavan has the power to project this entire universe, complete universe. So that is his Shakti, Mega Shakti. And he projects this entire universe for what? For the jivas to come and experience sukha and dukkha as per the law of karma. Complete analysis of the nature of the creator. Third chapter. Fourth chapter is a deeper analysis into the nature of God. The fifth chapter is what is the nature of the individual, the jiva, and what is the essential oneness between the individual and God. See, I always said that Upanishadic study is to know there is a common factor between the Jiva and Paramatma, and that common factor is called as Brahman, which is consciousness, which is existence principle. These are just words for you at the moment, but once you study the Upanishads, the words will reveal to you your own nature. So it's very important to study the nature of Ishvara, the nature of Jiva, which is very profoundly mentioned in the fifth chapter. What are the means of realization? Like disciplines, sense organ discipline, the mind discipline, upasana, all these are all different means to realize the God or Brahman which is present in this world and also present in each of our body. We take the body as ourself, and then we are in samsara. The moment I drop this body as myself, then I'm ready, I'm fit to study the Upanishad and seek that Brahman, seek that higher nature, that consciousness, that pure existence principle as my real nature. Very beautiful Upanishad. Krishna Yajurveda, Svetasvatara Upanishad. In all these six chapters, what is the central theme which it is saying? What is the central message? That omniscient, omnipotent God is in you also, Tat Tvam Asi. Whatever we study in Chandogya Upanishad is the essence of Svetasvatara Upanishad, is the theme of Svetasvatara Upanishad. That is what I have explained to you so far. And Okay, before going into the details, just a little bit of explanation. Uh, this Upanishad, Svetasvatara Upanishad, is a compilation of Mundaka Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Rudram, Mahanarayana Upanishad, and Purusha Sukta. It is combined. It is taken. It is compiled from different Upanishads. That's what the teachers tell us. The teachers tell us that it is a it is got some features from these Upanishads and Rudra. 23 mantras in this 113 verses are taken from other parts of Upanishads, other parts of the Veda. The four topics which are discussed as main topics are Ishwara Swarupam, Ishwara Swarupa Jnanam, Ishwara Swarupa Sadhanam, Jnana Sadhanam, and Jnana Phalam. What is the meaning of Ishwara Swarupam? Ishwara Swarupa means the Lord has got two types of nature. One is Sagunam, another is Nirgunam. If the Lord has got that nature, I also have a same type of nature, Sagunam, Nirgunam. Sagunam means what? It is with form, Murtham, Murtha Prapancha. The entire world is his form. See, this is the methodology of the study. The whole universe, that Vishwarupa Darshanam of chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the Saguna Ishwara. Nirguna Ishwara means it is the consciousness or the awareness portion which is formless. That is Ishwara Swarupa. Jnanam alone means liberation. What is the jnanam? What is the jnanam we need to have? That jnana means the intrinsic nature of nirguna tattvam, which is there in 24 mantras in this Upanishad, is the means. It is the way in which I can get moksha. The third topic which is which is discussed in this Upanishad is yoga. The yoga technique of controlling our mind, manonigraha, is expanded in the second chapter. Mainly, it comes from the Sutra of Patanjali. The fourth topic is Jnana Phalam, which is nothing but Jivan Mukti and Videha. I have already explained to you what is Jivan Mukti, what is Videha Mukti. It is common in all the Upanishads. Jivan Mukti means I am free right now, here and now. When I am living in this world, I drop my identification as I am the body and mind. I keep my focus as I am Atma Swarupam, Chaitanya Swarup. I continue my activities. Body and mind will go through the Vyavahara. Nothing will stop. What you will internally, that is what is called as internal sannyasa. That means mind is not attached to the body or mind thing in the world as per the law of karma, but mind got a new teaching of Atma Tattvam. And after the study of Upanishads, you feel I am blessed by the Lord to get this teaching of my higher Swarupa. And I can continue the life. Videha Mukti is a process. It is just what the Upanishad says is once we have this jnanam of the Upanishads in this birth, Upanishad says you will not be born again into this world. That means you will not take up another body. This we have to accept what the Upanishad is telling us as the phalam for this jnana. There is no proof for this. Like Swarga, there is heaven. It is a realm of experience. It is proved by Veda Pramana. Okay. The split up of the 6 chapters and the verses is is highlighted here in this chart. Next, I will talk about Amritabindu Upanishad. It's a very small, minor Upanishad. I have taken up certain classes in the past. I thought I will just include it in the summary today because it might be useful to some people. It's got one or two special mantras which will help a seeker. That's why I decided to take this also. Amrit Bindu Upanishad is from Atharvana Veda. Atharvana Veda is Mandukya Upanishad. So Amrita means what? It is heavenly. Bindu means drop, a heavenly drop. The name of the Upanishad is a drop of heavenly bliss. Upanishad. Realize that truth. That truth is immortal. And that truth is the self of all of us. So, introduction portion is in the first verse. What is the mind which gives us endless troubles? See, this Upanishad, why it is important is it focuses, it gives a little bit more knowledge about my mind. Unlike many other Upanishad, this Upanishad focuses on the mind. Manushyanam bandhakaranam. What is the bandhakaranam? What keeps us glued to this body? It is the mind. Body is an external organ. It is an external body. It is an external entity. Now, but what keeps this body alive? There is something called as the mind, the subtle body which keeps this body alive, the gross body alive. When the subtle body leaves, the gross body perishes. And it is this mind gives us endless troubles. You just watch your mind. See, any student of Vedanta, after a study of a few couple of years or 2, 3 years, one starts beginning to understand the nature of the mind. It is not that we become pure mind. No. We before study of Upanishad, we don't even know our mind. That there is something called as mind. It's got passions, it's got desires, it's got impurities, all that we don't know. Ask a layman, he will not know anything about the mind. He'll just say, this is me, that's all. That's my nature. Here it says this Upanishad focuses on how to control the mind, not only control the mind, but also go beyond the mind. See, going beyond the mind is nothing but being aware that I am consciousness. The moment I become aware of the knowledge of the Upanishads, I become conscious of not only awareness, but also I become conscious whenever the mind rises, I become aware. Many students of Upanishads have come and told me that they have understanding their mind much better after going through these sessions of Upanishads. Because they are able to discriminate the thoughts from consciousness. I mean, this subject is so huge. I can go on and on for 10 lectures on the mind, but I don't have so much time. I will just say there are two types of mind. Mind which is attached sense object, and the mind which is not attached to such object. Two types of mind. That is what is described in verse number 2. See, such a beautiful Upanishad. It starts with that nature of the mind because mind is the problem. The heart, the lungs, the digestive systems, our locomotion, these are all there. But what keeps us in bondage? Bondage is because of the attachment of the mind to the sense objects. which is called as desire. So, a desire for the sense objects in the mind is the cause of attachment to this whole world. Why am I born again and again? I want to enjoy. In my last birth, I didn't enjoy certain things. I still have certain desires in my Karana Sharira. I come back into the world again. Again, I want to enjoy. So, bondage, bandha, and moksha. Moksha is freedom, freedom from desires. How do I get freedom from desires? Only by knowing I am the Atma. There is no other way. Upanishads are very clear. You can know the entire world, but you will not be free of the mind's desires. See, the rishis have done a lot of research. So, what should the seeker do? Seeker should practice to make his mind free from sense objects. A pure mind is a mind without desires, an impure mind is mind full of desires. Kama and raga. Kama is desire, raga is attachment. It's not easy. It is really not easy to control our mind. All of those who are practicing yoga, who are practicing the sadhana of spiritual study, the first thing you realize is I am under the control of the mind. Mind is controlling all the actions in my body. This is a realization. Now, that is the first realization. Then what happens? Upanishad tells me that that is not me. Upanishad tells me that the mind cannot have the power to think without borrowing that power from consciousness, which is my nature, which is what I am. So the fourth and the fifth verse, they talk about mind without desires for the objects becomes one with the self. You don't have to do anything. Automatically it happens. See, in our spiritual path, when we study more and more details about our Swarupam, which is Atma Swarupam, slowly our grip of the mind to the sense objects in the world that starts reducing. So much so that a time comes when can easily drop your mind and say this mind is mithya. It is a appearance in consciousness. I am the consciousness which is the substratum of the mind. Very beautiful Upanishad. You have to go deeper and deeper into the study of the mind. It's the best Upanishad you want to study for knowing who you are as a mind. How to meditate on this Atma? Upanishad says it's very simple. You just drop your likes and dislikes. Contemplate on the Atma as described by the Upanishads. Atma is without raga, Atma is without the dvesha, Atma is pure, Atma is nirvikara, Atma is nityaha. So many features the Upanishad gives. Contemplate on that as your nature. Drop identifying again and again with the world and see what happens is when we identify with the mind pushes the organs of action, the hands, the legs into the world. Come on, go to the shopping mall, buy this, buy that, endless. Go to this part of the world, enjoy these objects. Go to another part, intellectual objects, emotional objects. So many things are there in the world. So dropping that and turning the mind, turning the direction of the mind from the world to the Atma is through meditation, through practice. The seventh verse talks about Omkara meditation. See, one more Upanishad, Omkara meditation. Mandukya Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, everywhere we see Omkara Upanishad. Om. Meditate on the sound Om and go beyond to the silence and realize your nature as Atma. What is the nature of this Atma? Very beautiful portion of this Upanishad. In verse number 8, 9, and 10, 14 such indicators are given. What are those 14 indicators? Quickly, let's go through this indicators. I love the indicators portion of the Upanishads whenever they arrive. Towards the end of the this Upanishadic study, I will send you all one booklet which I had prepared about 12 years ago, which has got all these mantras in one form. I just collected all these mantras and I compiled it. I will send it to you at the end of all these talks, just for you to keep it. And see, focusing on this 14 indicators is a very important part of Nididhyasanam. Again and again, you keep on reflecting on these 14 words and claim that as your Swarupa, which is the central theme of all the Upanishads. This portion, 8, 9, and 10 of Amritabindu Upanishad, out of the 22 verses, these three verses are the most important. Like the seventh mantra of Mandukya Upanishad, like so many other 19th mantra of Kaivalya Upanishad, Tattvamasi mantra of Chandogya Upanishad, Etad Vaitad of Katha Upanishad. These are the 43 mantras of this Amritabindu Upanishad. Quickly, let's go through the words. Nishkala. Kala means form. Nishkala means without form. What gives form to what gives us form? It is the body only. Suppose you remove the form in your mind, just remove the form. Then what happens to that I? That I becomes formless. That I is yourself. Isn't it easy? Easy, isn't it? In your meditation, Nishkala, bring the word Nishkala in your meditation and see the meaning. Nishkala means removing the form, removing the gross form of the body. Aham Nishkala Asmi. I am formless consciousness. Nirvikalpa. What is the change, vikara, which is happening in my body, which is visible to me as consciousness? It is the thoughts. The thoughts are not me. They are savikalpa. But who am I? I am nirvikalpa. That means there is no change. I am of the nature of consciousness. I am nirvikalpa swarupa. Kalpa means thought. Thought belongs to the subtle body. Thoughts can be millions of thoughts. The moment you sit in meditation, hundreds and thousands of thoughts will come. And it is continuous. Can you imagine how many thoughts we have been having in our life? What a beautiful creation this is. Niranjana. Niranjana means without any impurities. Impurities are there in the punyam and papam, impurities which are there, which gives me another body. I am Niranjana. Niranjana means I am without impurities. Aham Atma Niranjana. I am without any causal body, subtle body, gross body. Three words, they indicate what? I am not the gross body, like in Mandukya, na anta prajnam, na bahish prajnam, na ubhaya prajnam. Here it says is Nishkala, Nirvikalpaha, Niranjana. Then who am I? Dhruvam. Dhruva means eternal, timeless, anantam. The whole world is with a lot of forms and it is limited. World is limited, but then I am anantam. I am limitless consciousness. Hetu varjita. Hetu varjita means beyond logic. Consciousness, you cannot bring logic. You cannot say that this because of this consciousness is like this and so on. This so tarka cannot come into play when you are coming into understanding Vedanta. Vedanta is it just reveals the nature of the self, which is consciousness. So it's beyond logic, hetu varjita. Drishtanta varjita. Drishtanta means there is no example, no comparison. Suppose I want to compare two flowers. One is a white lily, another is red rose. Red is a color of a rose. White is a color of a lily. I can compare. This consciousness is drishtanta varjitam. There is no example. Only one, ekam. And it is without any bheda. No sajatiya bheda, no vijatiya bheda, no swagata bheda. No division in it. Aprameyam. Aprameyam means it is not an object which is can be measured, immeasurable. And does this consciousness have a beginning like the body? Body is born. It has a beginning, it has an end. But consciousness in which this body is born is beginningless. It is never bound. Buddha. Consciousness is not bound. Body and mind are bound together with the world. Na nirodho na chotpattihi. The same verse comes in Mandukya Upanishad also. This verse, 10th verse, comes in Mandukya Upanishad also. Na nirodho na chotpatti. There is no creation or dissolution with a reference to what? Consciousness. Because consciousness alone is in which the whole world is coming and going. That coming and going world is called as the world, is called as creation. But with reference to consciousness, it is always there, eternally, changelessly it is there. Na sadhaka, na sadhyaha. Nirvana Shatkam. All taken from this Upanishad 10th verse only. There is no sadhaka, there is no seeker, there is no sword, there is no teacher, there is no taught, no student, no teacher. Where? In the Paramarthika Satyam, which is consciousness, in which the whole world is coming and going. Na baddhaha, na mumukshu, na muktaha. No one is bound, no one is a seeker, no one is gets liberation also. All from the Paramarthika Satyam. Vyavaharically, everybody is bound. Body is bound to the mind. Mind is bound to the world. This is Vyavaharik. What Upanishad in 8, 9, and 10 is trying to describe is the seventh mantra of Mandukya, which is Paramarthika Satya. You must try to understand Paramarthika Satyam is of a higher order of reality. Like the dreamer and the waker. The waker is higher compared to a dreamer because dream world is pratibhasik. It is only a world created out of the thoughts, out of the vasanas. What about this waking world? Waking world is created by Ishwara with the help of Panchabhutas, five elements, gross world. But beyond this gross world, there is consciousness, there is pure awareness. So 8, 9, and 10 gives the central theme of the 22 verses of Amritabindu Upanishad. But all this is there, but how can I realize this? The 11th verse says, Anvaya Vyatireka. By the method of mutual existence and mutual exclusion. Experiences in the waking, dream, and sleep are badaha, can be negated. The experiencer is the I thought. That I thought also goes away. But what doesn't go? It is the illuminator of the I thought, which is consciousness. Can you see the step by step process? Here again, because it is Atharvana Veda, waking, dream, and sleep, the three states, as you study in Kaivalya, as you study in Mandukya, the same methodology is used to arrive at this pure self. Once I arrive at this pure self, how do I realize this? Is explained in the 12th mantra. The space inside a gold pot, a space inside a mud pot are both the same space only. There is no difference in the space. Similarly, consciousness in a holy person, consciousness in a cruel person, it is the same. Space doesn't have comparison. The air may be foul, the air may be fragrant, but the space is the same. Containers of the body and mind are different. The space which is there in the container, there is no difference. It is uniform. So all of us, if you look at the upadhi called as the medium of transaction, your upadhi body and mind is different than my body and mind, but the content is the same. My focus should be on the content, which is the consciousness. I drop the external form and hold on to the consciousness. That is what the Upanishad wants me to do. In all these Upanishads, Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana, don't forget, I drop the invariable factors and then I drop the variable factors, hold on to the invariable factor, which is consciousness. 13 and 14 talk about the space compared to the self. They have got certain common features between space and consciousness. Space is a created element, not experienced in sleep. It depends on the reflected consciousness for existence. That means I do not experience space in sleep. Why? Because I am the pure consciousness. In pure consciousness, there is no world. When there's no space at all, there is no world. That is the higher nature. That is what the Upanishad is trying to reveal to me. That is the self. That is the illuminator. It is always present. It is called as eternal, nityaha. It is beyond the mind. It has got no limitations of a body or mind. But in the waking state, what happens? I superimpose on that pure consciousness my body and my mind. And I say, I am the body, I am the mind. This is what is called as adhyasa. I gave you some details of Adhyasa Bhashyam last week. You must apply the Adhyasa and say, I am able to remove the Adhyasa by Bhagatyaga Lakshana, remove the ignorance. In the 15th verse out of the 22nd verse, it says Maya, which is which has revealing power and projecting power of delusions. That I am the body, I am the mind, and the world is real. See, mark this word, world is real. Without the knowledge of the Upanishads, we will conclude that all our experiences in the world are fact. They exist. But when you come to the Upanishad says they are mithya, they are appearances, but they are not real. What is reality? Reality is this consciousness alone. And words of the scriptures alone can reveal this consciousness. Nothing else in the world. You have to come to Upanishads. If you are interested in spiritual science, you have to come to the Upanishads to understand the self. Who am I? You cannot sit in meditation if you don't know the Upanishads. With the knowledge of Upanishads, you can sit in the meditation and realize, I am that. 14 features we saw just now. Keep on remembering that. The sound, the symbol, 16th verse, the sound symbol of that reality is Om. Whenever you chant Om, remember it is a sound symbol. It is not a form. Rama, Krishna, Ganesha, so many forms in the temples. They are all formed God. But the sound Om is also a symbol. But when you utter the sound, it rises from where? It rises from silence. When the sound is there, it remains in the same silence. And when the sound is resolved, it goes back to silence. That silence is imperishable, sound is perishable. Focus on this aspect of the sound of Om to attain absolute peace. We are not talking of the mental peace. We are talking about the absolute peace. Absolute peace has got no gradation. It is peace. That's all. Shanti. Atma Shanti. 17th verse of this Upanishad talks about Apara and Para Vidya, as in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Paravidya is Nirguna Tattva. Aparavidya is Saguna. So when you meditate on Om, you can meditate on either the Sagunam Ishwara or the Nirguna Ishwara. 18th verse talks about using the Upanishad, the scriptures, to reach the goal of Brahman, to reach the goal of Atma. The cows example is given in 19th verse. It says the cows are many, but the milk is white in color. Upanishads are many, but the essence which they are talking about is one Atma, same Brahman. It is the same knowledge which made Vivekananda free from his mind. It made Shankara free from his mind. The knower are different, but the content of what they knew is the Upanishadic content of Atma or Brahman or Purya. There could be contradictions in Veda, but they are only apparent. They are not real contradictions. How is this knowledge hidden in the Veda? Exactly like how the milk is hidden, how the butter is hidden in the milk, how how the fire is hidden in the wood. This Chaitanyam, which is there, awareness, is hidden in our body and mind complex. And with the help of the words of the Upanishad, then our mind keeps on churning. That is what is called as mananam. When this mananam happens, I am able to understand my nature as pure Atma. Atma is the last verse of this verse, 22nd verse is Atma is the abode of all the minds. It is the resting ground of all the minds in the universe. That is why you can boldly say that I am of the nature of consciousness in which the mind rests. Every night the mind rests. The same is the ground, same is the locus, where all the minds, whether it is devatas, whether anybody, the mind is resting in only one place. And that place is called as Atma. If I know that, I can say I am Vasudevaha. World and body exist in this I notion. This I notion in the body is only a reflection of that consciousness. I am the pure consciousness in which the I notion also is not there. I notion comes as soon as I wake up in the morning, aham. And then the whole I am the body, I am the mind, I am the world, I have to do, I am a karta, bhokta. Everything else starts after the I notion. Differentiate your nature as prajnanam, Brahma, as consciousness from the I notion in the mind. That is what is called as Amritabindu. Beautiful 22 verses like Kaivalya Upanishad. It is a minor Upanishad, but very powerful. And the most important verse is the third verse, which says that mind is the cause of bondage, mind is the cause of liberation for the jiva. Like the 19th verse, Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, in this Upanishad, mind, Manaha Eva Bandha Karanam, Manaha Eva Moksha Karanam. That is the essence of Amrit Bindu Upanishad. The next Upanishad is Chandogya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad is probably, I think it's the biggest Upanishad after Vedantic Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad has 627 mantras. It is from Samaveda, like Keno Upanishad. Keno Upanishad is from Samaveda. Chandogya Upanishad is from Samaveda. Aitareya Upanishad is from Rig Veda. So, two Upanishads are Samaveda, one Upanishad of Rig Veda, three Upanishads. Then the other Upanishads are in either in Yajurveda or in the Atharvana Veda. Mandukya, Mundaka, all this is in Prashna, all this is in Atharvana Veda. The balance is in Yajurveda. Okay, now it's a very, very big Upanishad. I don't have too much details on this in this summary. I have plenty of summary notes, but I don't want to spend so much time behind the summary. The summary is only to give you a taste so that you all feel that there is something in the Upanishads. I want you to get excited about the study of Upanishad. Just get a feeling, oh, this is what is taught. Can I also taste that Atma? I want you to have that feeling. Samaveda, it has got 8 chapters. The first 5 chapters of Chandogya Upanishad are Upasana portion, only meditation. And this Upanishad, because it is in the Samaveda, it can be sung in a musical form. The 6th, 7th, and 8th are the Brahma Vidya Upanishads, chapters. So, first 5 chapters, you don't need to focus at all. It only talks about Jiva Upasana, Ishwara Upasana. The benefits are you will get Dharma Artha Kama if you practice Sakama Upasana. That means I need some desires to be fulfilled. Therefore, I'm doing meditation. If you take up in this way, you will have benefits. What are the benefits? Dharma, you will lead a very religious life. Artha, you will have plenty of money. Kama, you will have plenty of entertainments in your life. This is your benefit if it is Sakama Upasana for meditation. Suppose you say, I will do Ishwara Upasana because I want to know the nature of Ishwara. That is called as Nishkama Upasana. When you do a meditation like that, what happens is your mind becomes pure, Chitta Shuddhi. Then you will get Guru who will come into your life and suddenly he will appear. He'll say Tattvamasi and you will say, yes, I accept I am that higher principle called as Atma. This just happens. When this happens, it is called as moksha. So, Upasana portion is dealt with in the first 5 chapters. The sixth, seventh, and eighth chapters are Brahma Vidya portion. The sixth chapter mainly focuses on Sat Vidya. The seventh chapter focuses on Bhuma Vidya. The eighth chapter focuses on Prajapati Vidya. The teachers and the students in each of these chapters are different. Sixth chapter, Uddalaka is the teacher, Shvetaketu is the student. This is where the famous Tattvamasi, Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. You are that Atma, you are that Brahman. 9 times Uddalaka, the teacher explains with examples. 9 examples are given. Just like the salt which gets dissolved in the ocean and you can't find the salt at all. You, the jiva, which with the form and with the form of a body and mind, when you are in the vyavaharika state, you get dissolved into the ocean of consciousness when you are in sleep state. There is no separate existence for you. You become one with the universal existence, Sat. The Sat is what is your nature, not this body and mind. Body and mind is incidental. Immortal. You are immortal. You are immortal as consciousness, as existence. The focus of the sixth chapter is existence principle. In many Upanishads, you will have the focus on consciousness. Aitareya Upanishad, Prajnanam Brahma, in Aitareya Upanishad, all that focuses on consciousness aspect, but the sixth chapter focuses on existence. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The Satyam portion is there in Taittiriya Upanishad as well as in Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. The 6th chapter has got 69 verses, 16 sections. The first section is a story. Second section to the 7th section is stating that Brahman is the Jagat Karanam. Brahman means Sat. That pure existence is the cause of this entire gross world, subtle world, and causal. Sadeva Saumyam idamagre asi. That Sat existed before the creation. And that is your real nature. It is changeless. I was in ignorance, thinking this body is real. No, body is incidental. It is mithya, appearance. Adhishtanam is this Jagat Karanam Brahma. The 6th chapter of Chandogya should not be missed by any seeker of Brahma Vidya. It is an extremely important chapter. 69 verses, brilliantly gives out the essence. It is the most important section of Chandogya Upanishad. Very, very famous portion is the Mahavakya portion from the 8th section to the 16th section of the 6th chapter. At the end of the 6th chapter, 16th section, Tattvamasi is repeated 9 times. I mean, right from 8 section, 8, 9, 10, 11, each section is, at the end of each section, the teacher says, Tattvamasi Vedaketu. You are that ultimate reality. Know this reality and as yourself and be free. Sadeva Chit. Chit eva sat. That existence alone is this consciousness which is inside the body, as Sakshi of all your mind, thoughts, passions, emotions. Without that Sakshi, you are not there. That Sakshi is the pure I. Ahamkara I is incidental I. Fantastic portion of, of the entire Upanishadic literature is the sixth chapter. It's, uh, it's a direct realization, like you have the seventh mantra, Tattvamasi section of 8 to 16, is a direct realization of our real nature. In the seventh chapter, the teacher is Sanat Kumara and the student is Narada. Narada goes to his teacher and says, I have got so much knowledge about this world, external world. I have got astronomy, geology, I have studied all the sciences. He gives a list of PhDs which he has got. And he says, there is something which I have not got. I don't know how to get rid of sorrow from my mind. He goes to a teacher, very clear, very brilliant student. And the teacher says, I will teach you Bhuma Vidya and you will be free from sorrow. That is the essence of the seventh chapter. Beautiful section again. See, all the three chapters, Brahma Vidya portion of Chandogya, are brilliant in their revelations. The last chapter of Chandogya Upanishad is Prajapati Vidya. The teacher is the creator himself, Prajapati. And the student is a Devata, Indra Devata. Like you have the Kena Upanishad, Indra goes to the teacher. Similarly, here, Indra is the teacher. The Lord of the Devatas is Indra Devata. He goes to the creator, Ishwara, and asks him, give me Brahma Vidya. And in this eighth chapter, the teacher teaches him exactly the same as taught in Mandukya Upanishad. So the eighth chapter, Prajapati Vidya, is a replica of Mandukya Upanishad. Very beautiful chapter, eighth chapter of Prajapati Vidya. Again, waking state, dream state, sleep state. The beauty of this Prajapati Vidya is here, Prajapati tells the student, you meditate on the waking state for 24 years, another dream state for 24 years, sleep state for 24 years. And then I will teach you what is Turiya. And he teaches Turiyan and he says, this is what your nature is. Very beautiful in a story form, it comes. Very nice. Now, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and Mandukya Upanishad. I will try to finish Brihadaranyaka Upanishad in 5 minutes. It is a very big Upanishad. The second biggest Upanishad is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. 6 chapters with 434 mantras. The chapters, they come in pairs. First 2 chapters is called as Madhukanda. It is Upadesha Kanda or advice, teaching. Munikanda is the 3rd chapter and the 4th chapter. It is Yukti Pramanam, Upapatti Kanda, logical analysis. And the last portion is Upasana Kanda, which is called as Khila Kanda, with 5th chapter and 6th chapter. Totally, how many verses are there? Not 12, like Mandukya. Here it is 434. Chandogya Upanishad has got 600 mantras. 434. Brilliant sections are there in Madhukanda. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad comes from Shukla Yajurveda. It is a Brahmana Upanishad. It is a commentary on Isavasya Upanishad. Isavasya Upanishad is small Upanishad, but this one is a commentary on Ishavasya. But some of these mantras of Vedantic Upanishad are amazing. Shankaracharya in Mandukya Upanishad uses maximum number of verses from Vedantic Upanishad. So there are two portions, Khandva Kanda and Madhyantika Kanda. These are two different schools in Brahmanika, in this Brahmanika Upanishad itself. Shanti mantra here is Purnamada, Purnamidam. That is what we chant at the big end of all our sessions. Number of verses in each section is mentioned here. Number of verses is so. This is a broad guideline to Brahmanika Upanishad. It will take me at least 10, 12 sessions if I want to expand. I have taken such sessions in the past. But for this group of students who are learning Upanishads in this portion, I just want to give you a bird's eye view. That's all. I have taken detailed summaries in the past. If I were to take a detailed summary of all these 12 Upanishads, then it will take at least 1 year. 52 sessions are required to take only the summary portions. I have got notes for all of them. But here I've just taken one page of the summary portions. Next week, I will do Mandukya Upanishad summary. This is the last Upanishad for which I will be giving a summary. And we'll finish the Mandukya Upanishad next week, the summary. After we finish Mandukya Upanishad, we will start I will give you just some points which are common to all the Upanishad. When we study, we should keep in mind some of the common topics. I will discuss at the end of Mandukya Upanishad some few points, and then we will start the Prashna Upanishad. So let me see if I can finish the Mandukya, then perhaps start Prashno, maybe the following session. Let me think about it. I will let you know. So I will try to take Mandukya summary next week, and probably Prashno Upanishad I will start the week after that, because I want to make a beginning properly for Prashno Upanishad. So probably I'll give you a slightly elongated summary of Mandukya, which will cover maybe for about 45 minutes or so. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudacchade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Just a remark by Arun Jain. He wants a 1 year full course on the summary of Upanishads. Well, maybe sometime in the future, I will do that. This time, this is a part, what I'm doing is a part of the study of the 10 major Upanishads. So I just wanted you to get a taste of the Upanishads, but I will continue the detailed Upanishads because I have a certain course to finish. I finished 5 Upanishads. I have another 5 Upanishads to go. Next week, we will do I'll give you a taste of how this detailed Upanishad summary is next week. I'm going to take a detailed version. I will not take the summary as what I put as a summary of 5, 6 pages. I can take a summary of 5, 6 pages. I can take a summary of 50 pages. So next week, I will try to do a slightly longer summary of Mandukya Upanishad. You will see what it means to study one Upanishad summary in one session. Okay. So that is about to Arun Jain. Anybody else? Anybody else has any other remark of today's session? If you have anything, you can unmute yourself. Shanmugam is unmuting all of you, and you can just unmute yourself, and then you can speak up.
Uh, Hello, good afternoon. This is Alpesh.
Yeah, Alpesh, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, the one question we have 10 major Upanishads, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarification, like what's the difference if we do we need to go through the all Upanishads to get the knowledge, or the minimum requirement like one or two Upanishads we can attain that state of oneness, because looks like the all Upanishads having the same goal to attain the knowledge of Atma. So instead of we really need to go through the all the Upanishad to have the different experience, or it's the same? Like if we go to the Mandukya Upanishads and we practice the text again and again, and that's enough.
Okay. Good question. Alpesh, the answer to your question depends on the type of mind you're bringing to this study. There are some people who listen to only one Upanishad and they are very clear because their mind is ready, already ready and fit. So, generally speaking, if you want to know a general standard, what normally is done by the Advaitic schools is, suppose you are going to an ashrama for studying the same Upanishads. In the ashrama, what they do is they have a 2 year course. They teach Bhagavad Gita, they teach Upanishads, they teach some miscellaneous texts like Rigdrisha Viveka and a few other Prakarana Granthas. For a normal study of a normal mind, generally the acharyas, they take up 4 or 5 Upanishads. The main ones are what I have already finished. I've already finished some of the things which they normally take in a Vedic school, which is Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, and Mundaka Upanishad. These are the
But
main Upanishads. Generally, if you see, either you can study Mandukya and get the final result. That is what Lord Hanuman did. He went to Lord Rama and asked him in Muktika Upanishad that teach me one Upanishad. I don't have time for 108 Upanishads. So Lord said, come on, I'll teach you Mandukya. That is enough. Now, so to answer your question, if you like Mandukya Upanishad, yes, you can go study it very sincerely, systematically, go through verse by verse, like how I'm teaching now the Mandukya Upanishad on Sundays. And you can realize the thing you're asking is it the same thing which you learn in all the Upanishads? Yes. That question is very important. The answer to that is yes. Whatever you realize at the end of the study of Mundaka Upanishad or Amritabindu Upanishad or uh, Mandukya Upanishad or any of the 12 Upanishads which we study, the goal is the same. The goal is called as Brahman. The goal is called as Turiyam. The goal is called as Puma. All these are just names. But if you go through the study of the Upanishad, the Upanishads have got different styles. One Upanishad will say, go through the Panchakoshas. Another Upanishad will say, go through the three avasthas. Third Upanishad will say, go through the mind. Like in Amritabindu, I took a fairly detailed version of Amritabindu Upanishad today. 24 verses. Verse by verse, I took. In a short time, I finished the 24 verses. So, mind is the Bandha Karanam, mind is the Moksha Karanam. One Upanishad itself, you take it, you suppose, for example, today you say, mind is the cause. What do I have to do? I have to just say, this mind is not me, it is not mine. It is Ishwara's mind, it is a part of the total mind of the creation. It is not me. I am always Chaitanya Rupaha. This minor Upanishad of 24 verses can give you moksha. And it can give you the ultimate result of what is required to study in any of the Upanishads. So, the answer to your question is, generally speaking, 4 to 5 Upanishads, just to get a taste of different Upanishads, is recommended for normal students. There are some students who like the Mandukya, they understand Mandukya threadbare. Ultimately the goal is what? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman is Satyam. Satyam means it is always there. Whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm awake, whether I'm dreaming, I am of the nature of consciousness, pure awareness, changeless awareness. Whether the body is there, or it is not there also. Who am I? I am the changeless consciousness. Whether the body is sleeping, whether the body is not there, whether the body is born again, in all those aspects, these are all the conditions at the anatma level. But at the atma level, I am the pure consciousness. If you can remember this truth as said in all the Upanishads, then you are free. That's all. See, many times a lot of students have come back and told me your summary itself has been funny. I know exactly what you're talking about. I will live with this thought. I am Atma, and I don't have to really worry about anything else in life. This is what is called as Jivan Mukti.
Yes, okay, understood. Just one more quick question. By practicing Upanishads and all, but at some point, do we really need a physical guru, or it will come by our, the practicing this consciousness concept?
Okay. See, Guru is important to introduce this Upanishads to you. That's all. The moment you have got the content of the Upanishads, then you don't need a Guru. I have known what the Upanishad is teaching me. I have you see, Guru is responsible to tell you that there is something called as Mandukya Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita. These are all the scriptures which are there. But the content of the Upanishad, it's only the Guru who can teach you. So you have to, generally this acharyas, they say that a period of study is important. Say you study for 2 years. Under anybody, it can be just listening to the scriptures. What is important is listening from a guru, not reading the Katha Upanishad from a book. That will not give you Brahma Vidya. Listening, Shravanam is very, very important. Once you have listened from a guru, the Upanishadic text, Then once you have listened, like I said, after 5, 6 Upanishads you have listened, then what happens? In your mind, a vasana is created for pure consciousness, Brahman. With this new vasana, you can destroy all your old vasanas. And then what will happen? Automatically you will say, I am that pure consciousness. Every time, whenever you want to know who am I, that question will not even appear to you. It will not come to your mind also. Have I answered your question, Alpesh?
Yeah, I got your point. That's a I fully understand. The another one is by practicing, I'm not a body, not a soul. I'm pure Atma. The thing is, in the waking state, while as doing the job or having the responsibility, uh, it seems to be I'm feeling that I'm not as a so ambitious like before, you know. So is it like we are going on the right way? I'm not sure whether that is.
Yes, absolutely right. You see, what happens when you study these Upanishads is your grip of the mind in the world, it gets reduced. See, before the study, you never knew that there was something called as Atma. So, with the
Okay.
study of Atma, a little bit of the vasana of that pure consciousness. It's not actually it is not vasana, it is your nature. So that nature of your consciousness starts shining inside you. Now, the grip, the world gripped you before. Like you were completely immersed in the world as if there was nothing else except the world. Now, when you come to the study of Upanishads, you take one step back and start asking the question, okay, so what? If the world is giving me this phalam, is giving me this result, okay, I'll accept the phalam. I will accept whatever comes. So that is
Understood.
what a change which all the seekers they notice. Like you are telling me, almost every seeker has told me the same whatever you are experiencing. And the grip of the world reduces the moment you come to Atma Vidya. And nothing wrong with
Okay,
it. It
understood.
is absolutely fine. This is what is called as Vairagya. It is one of the qualifications which are required for a fit student for Brahma Vidya. It doesn't mean that you will drop your family and duty and all that. No, your duty can still continue. It is only an internal change which happens to you. It has got no external change at all. In the sense that you will continue your duty, perform your duty to the best. In fact, you will become a better father, a mother, better mother once you have this Brahma Vidya.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else has any other question?
Secretary.
But yes.
Ajita here.
Yeah, that I mean.
Yeah, study of Upanishads making me uh, immersed in that, but it make a tragic difference of silence. Whatever we see, whatever we experience in the world, it is not at all affecting. And realizing that is leading to silence. That is what I experience by studying these Upanishads. And in the course of that study of Upanishads is our beloved Master Segarji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Ajita, basically, what you're saying is that after the study of Upanishads, you are able to take the shocks of the world and says, okay, let the world come. I'm still samatvam is my in my mind. I'm still stable. I'm able to accept both the good and the bad with samatva buddhi. That's an excellent quality of any seeker. Ajita, if you're able to get this, amazing, fantastic. I really
Yes,
appreciate your seekerhood in you.
yes, sir.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Yes, I am taking both good and bad at the same level. I have no reactions to that. I can see, yes, sometimes my tears are flowing, but I don't know why it is happening so. But I am experiencing the anandam, not anandam. I am floating somewhere. That is what is my experience. I am feeling every time.
good. Ajita, I'm quite happy to hear that. It's good because the effect of the Atma Vidya, you can see the benefit of that. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yes, I am grateful to you, my dear sir.
No, 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 no. It's not me. It is Shankaracharya and the great, the teachers who have been there in the past and in the present. It is, it is,
Wonderful. Yeah,
it is, it is the blessing of the Upanishad. You see, the Upanishad is the final teaching which helps all of us. We are blessed by the teachers and the scriptures. That is all I will say. If you're asking me, I will say it is the blessing of the scriptures. You have this great benefit of the study. Thank you, Jita. Thank you.
pranam, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else has any other remark?
Sagarji, this is Manigan.
Manikandan, tell me.
Thank you, Sagarji. Wonderful summary. I have one query about the point you mentioned that the mind belongs to the Ishwara. Because of this Maya, he created this mind. And this mind only is required to attain this Brahma Vidya. And in our daily life, even though we get this knowledge that I am the Atma, I am the pure Sachidananda, but this Maya power is overpowering us to disturb the mind and move away from this knowledge. So, do we have any uh, methods or techniques to pray to the Ishvara, who is the controller of this mind, to keep our focus on the Atma Vidya, or through the Shravanam only it will keep on this Ishvara's power will support us.
Yeah. The second part of your question is the answer. It is Shravanam which keeps us in this path and it blesses us. See, what happens is Ishvara comes into our life through this Shravanam. See, for example, the scriptural study tells us there is a higher power. Now, the scriptures tell us that this higher power is there in each one of us, and we get the faith that yes, I am also of that nature, eternal nature. So the scripture is the indirect method of reaching Ishvara. I cannot I cannot reach Ishvara because he is not visible. There is no other method. I can pray, but then the prayer is also what? To an invisible form. It is to an invisible form. All the learning which I do are small, small steps in the direction of trying to know the same Ishvara in my own self. In my own body mind complex, I want to realize that Ishvara, that formless nature. And it really happens, once you are learning the scriptures, what happens is your mind's grip on the world goes down. It's a fact. Like Ajita was saying just now, it's a fact. She has transformed herself. I know several examples. I know people who have done just their course on Bhagavad Gita with me. They did the 18 chapters with me on Master Gita, Master Life, and they said that I've changed. And they were suffering from a lot of issues and a lot of problems in life. But they got the samatva buddhi. Same thing will happen when you are learning the scriptures through the practice. Your question is a direct question. Should I sit down and pray for this knowledge, or should I just continue my listening of the scriptures? Continue the listening and try to follow the meditation sessions. A time will come, then your meditation will increase your mananam. It will increase your contemplation on the higher. What the scripture says is, when your mind contemplates more and more on the scriptures, unknowingly, what happens is you are trying to realize your nature as Sakshi. These thoughts are coming where? It is coming in consciousness. And then the Upanishad says you are the consciousness, prajnanam, Brahma. So the contemplation, mananam, and the shravanam, they go together. And ultimately, I am resting in peace. I told you Amritabindu Upanishad 8, 9, 10, 3 verses. Mantra number 7 of Mandukya. Shabdam Asparsham of Katha Upanishad. These mantras, they help me to understand that Atma Tattva. And Atma Tattvam, remember one fact, very, very important fact. Do not try to project that Atma as an object. Always say, Aham Atma Asmi. I am that Atma. There are students who have studied Vedanta for 25 years and they have not realized. They say that, maybe I'll require another 5 years of study of some advanced text. No. The trick is claim that Atma as the self. In all the 12 Upanishads, this is a central teaching of Shankaracharya. When you study the Bhashya, which is an intensive study, it is not easy to study the Bhashya. When you study the Shankara's commentary, one point he always makes in all the Bhashyams is, don't objectify the Lord as an object. It is the subject in you. I. Just now I was talking about that aham. The I notion is a reflected consciousness. But aham, without the mind, is the self. Have I answered you, Manikandan?
Yes, Secretary. Thank you very much. It's a very
Good.
I was confused
Thank
about
you.
that's what we do, and the study what we are doing Atma Vidya. So the prayers will help us to focus our mind in contemplating, to keep our mind free for this, and also to bring more interest towards this scriptural study.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's correct. The prayers will help you for that. The prayers will help you to see what happens in a prayer. You are with Ishwara. You are asking something to Lord and say, either Lord, you take care of my son. My son has some problems. Let him study well. Let him get good marks in his exams. This is one type of prayer. Another prayer is, I'm suffering from some bodily problems. I please get rid of this body problems. Now, what is this? It is a communication with some higher principle. That higher principle is not before you. It is only the mind trying to reach that Atma. Mind is trying to reach something which is beyond the mind. So that is one type of prayer, asking for something which is called as sakama. Another prayer is what? Oh Lord, I don't want to ask anything. Just let me get a taste of your nature. That's all. Which is called as nishkama prayer. I don't want anything from this ihaloka or paraloka. I don't want swarga. I don't want anything in this world, because why does the jnani drop all these prayers? Jnani drops all these prayers because he knows that all these results which I get is anitya. Anitya means what? See, today I will get this prayer fulfilled, but tomorrow some other problem will come in this world. Again, I have to go back to the same Lord. So, prayers to a certain extent are very, very important. A jnani rises above these sakama prayers to nishkama prayers for guru prapti, moksha prapti. That these are higher level prayers which only a jnani can ask because he knows that there is something else in this world. Good. Thank you, Manikandan.
Thank you, Sagarji.
Thank you. Arun, you are asking, can I have access to all your previous lectures in the series they are recorded while you? Okay. Arun, you please send me your email address. Arun, can you? Do you have our
Yes, sir.
email contact?
No, sir, I do not have your phone number. If it is the same as it is in the group, then I will send the email ID therein. And first of all, sir, I bow in your feet. Today's lecture was so illuminating, and I'm really regretting that why I got so late in joining your lectures and series of that. So it was my prarabdha and my bhagya that only now I could have come into it. But whatever I want to make use of is that whatever lectures you have already given. So if I can have access to them, so I will try at my own pace to listen to them and learn a little bit.
Yeah, so send me your, can you type your email address on the right now in the chat box,
Okay.
and I will send you the lectures, all the recorded. I have about 500 videos, more than 500 videos.
I see,
Uh,
sir.
so it doesn't matter. You can get started. You start with Tattva Bodha 5 sessions, Atma
Yes,
Bodha
sir.
5 sessions. You
Yes,
listen
sir.
to that, and then slowly but keep attending the sessions. These
I
sessions.
will do that, sir. Actually, I am a student of Jyotish also. So what
Yeah.
is happening is the class timing is overlapping by about 20 minutes or so. So that's why today also I got a little
No
late.
problem. What I'm saying is, you will get you, and also you give your phone number in your. Our email
Hmm.
address is vedantastudents@gmail.com.
No, right now I'm posting it, sir. And one mistake I don't know I'm knowingly making right now. Can I ask for your introduction, sir? Because, I'm sorry, your words are your introduction, but uh, are you a professor of Vedic sciences or what? Like something like that, I want to know.
No. I'm not a professor. I have been teaching Vedanta for the last 15 years, and
Hmm.
I've been learning Vedanta for the last 40 years.
I
And
see.
so I've gone through the scriptures, and I have a website which is called as vedantastudents.com.
Right,
You
sir.
can see a lot of things in the vedantastudents.com. I suggest you just go to the website, and
Fine, sir.
you can see a lot of things there, and you can
Right, sir.
communicate with us in vedantastudents@gmail.com.
Fine, sir. Wonderful,
Okay,
sir. So you're
thank you.
based in India only?
No, I live in Singapore, uh, and I talk from here. And
Okay.
so you have these sessions which come on Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow also I have a session,
In the
and
morning, 9:30. In the
yeah.
morning, I to 9:30.
So keep attending, and slowly you'll pick up. See, you're a bright mind, so you will definitely pick up these sessions fairly easily.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you, sir.
So we will stop, and then we'll continue next week. So next week is an important talk on Mandukya Upanishad. I will focus on just that Upanishad and also give you some general points how to study Veda and Upanishads. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Sagarji.
Pranam,
Thank
sir.
you.
Pranam.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.